Here we are going to study about moving coil galvanometer. So this is the figure of moving coil galvanometer. Here we have an aluminum frame, that is a non-magnetic frame on which insulated copper wire is wound. One end of the copper wire is connected to terminal T1 using a phosphor bronze string, and the other end of the wire is connected to terminal T2 using phosphor bronze spring. The arrangement is kept between the poles of powerful horseshoe magnet. Also, a soft iron core is placed inside the frame. The horseshoe magnet provides radial magnetic field, and the soft iron core helps to concentrate the fields into the frame. This is the top view of moving coil galvanometer. Here we can see north pole and south pole and radial magnetic field provided by the north pole and south pole. This is our soft iron core, and this is the coil on which we have a number of turns of the wire. We can see that in whichever direction the wire turns or the coil turns, there will be a magnetic field parallel to the plane of the coil. Also, the soft iron core helps to concentrate the field into the frame. We know that when a coil is placed in a magnetic field, a torque acts on the coil given by M cross V. M is equal to NIA, so torque is equal to NIAB sin theta. When theta is equal to 90, that is the angle between A and B is 90, we have torque is equal to NIAB. Here torque is equal to NIAB because in whichever direction the coil turns, there will be a magnetic field along the plane of the coil. This torque tries to rotate the coil, but the spring provides a counter torque given by K into phi, where K is the torsional constant of the spring and phi is the angle turned by the coil. At equilibrium, we can write NIAB is equal to K into phi. So I is equal to K by NAB into phi. I is equal to G into phi, where G is equal to K by NAB. Here K is a constant for the spring, N is the number of turns which is a constant, area of the loop A is a constant, and magnetic field B is also a constant. So K by NAB is a constant and we call it galvanometer constant, and it is a constant for a galvanometer taken. So I is equal to G into phi. A point is connected to the aluminum frame and current is passed through the wires. The aluminum frame turns. So the pointer connected to the aluminum frame also turns. The end of the pointer is on a scale from which we can measure the value of phi. We can convert a moving coil galvanometer into an ammeter or a voltmeter. Moving coil galvanometer can read only a small current. Here we are going to convert it in an ammeter to measure a large current. Here we have the galvanometer here. Ig is the maximum current that can flow through the galvanometer, or the current that gives a full scale deflection to the galvanometer. The resistance Rg of the galvanometer is drawn outside here. Now we have connected a resistance Rs parallel to the galvanometer. We call it the shunt resistance. Now this arrangement can be called an ammeter. Suppose we are going to make an ammeter that read up to I ampere or say 5 ampere. If that I ampere or 5 ampere comes here, only Ig flows through the galvanometer. The rest, that is I minus Ig, must flow through Rs. Rg and Rs are parallel, so voltage through G, that is the galvanometer, must be equal to voltage through Rs. Voltage is current into resistance, so Ig into Rg is equal to, here current is I minus Ig into Rs. So we have Rs is equal to Ig into Rg by I minus Ig. So this is the resistance that must be connected in parallel to the galvanometer to make it or convert it in an ammeter of range I ampere. Let R be the resistance of the ammeter we have made. Since Rg and Rs are parallel, we can write 1 by R is equal to 1 by Rg plus 1 by Rs. So R is equal to Rs into Rg by Rs plus Rg. From this equation, we can say that the value of R is less than both Rs and Rg. So the resistance of the ammeter we have made is small. Resistance of an ammeter should always be small. Or if we connect that ammeter in a circuit to measure current, it will prevent the flow of current or affect the flow of current. So the resistance of an ammeter should always be low. Another topic we must study in relation with this topic is current sensitivity. This deflection per unit current, that is phi by I. For moving coil galvanometer, NIAB is equal to K into phi. So phi by I is equal to NAB by K. The value of phi by I must be high. To increase phi by I, that is current sensitivity, we can increase the value of N, A or B, or decrease the value of K. A convenient method is to increase the value of N, that is the number of turns on the coil. Now let us try to do a problem. A galvanometer resistance 15 ohm gives full scale deflection for a current of 2 milliampere. Calculate the shunt resistance needed to convert it into an ammeter of range 0 to 5 ampere. So the resistance of the galvanometer is 15 ohm, that is Rg is equal to 15 ohm. The current that gives a full scale deflection is 2 milliampere, that is the current that can flow through the galvanometer. Ig is 2 milliampere. We can write 2 milliampere as 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 ampere or 0.002 ampere. Now the range of the ammeter is 0 to 5. So I is 5 ampere. The equation for Rs is Ig into Rg by I minus Ig. Now let us substitute the values. Ig is 2 milliampere or 2 into 10 raised to minus 3. Rg is 15. I minus Ig is 5 minus, let us write this, it is 0.02 instead of Ig. On solving we get 0.06 ohm. So 0.06 ohm must be connected in parallel to the galvanometer to convert it into an ammeter. Now we are going to convert the galvanometer to voltmeter. Here we have the galvanometer and its resistance Rg is drawn outwards here. To convert it in a voltmeter, we have connected a resistance here. It is a large resistance called R. Now this arrangement can be called a voltmeter. Suppose we are going to make a voltmeter that read up to V volt. If we give V volt across these two terminals, it will get divided among Rg and R. So we can write V is equal to voltage across Rg plus voltage across R, that is Ig Rg plus Ig into R. Taking Ig outwards, we have V is equal to Ig into Rg plus R. V by Ig is equal to Rg plus R. R is equal to V by Ig minus Rg. So this is the value of resistance that must be connected in series to the galvanometer to convert it into a voltmeter that read up to V volt. Now let us find the resistance of the voltmeter we have made. Here Rg and R are in series. So the voltmeter has the resistance R plus Rg, but R is a very high value compared to Rg. So we can say that the value of resistance is almost equal to R. The resistance of a voltmeter must always be high, or if we connect this voltmeter in a circuit or at a point in a circuit to measure voltage, all the current from the main circuit will start flowing through the voltmeter. So resistance of voltmeter must always be high. Now we are going to find the voltage sensitivity, that is the deflection per unit voltage of phi by V of the voltmeter. We have for moving coil galvanometer I is equal to K by NAB into phi. Instead of I, we can write V by R equal to K by NAB into phi. So phi by V is equal to NAB by K. Now to increase the voltage sensitivity, we can increase the value of N, A, B or decrease the value of K. To increase current sensitivity, we increase the value of K, but here if we increase the value of N to 2N, R will become 2R. So instead of N, here we have 2N, instead of R we have 2R. That's the value of phi by B remains unchanged. So we cannot use this method to increase the current sensitivity. Another point is, how will you connect a voltmeter in a circuit? A voltmeter is connected parallel in a circuit where voltage is to be measured. Let us try to do this problem. A galvanometer has a resistance 12 ohm and it shows a full scale deflection for a current of 3 milliampere. How will you convert it into a voltmeter of range 0 to 18 volt? So the resistance of the galvanometer is 12 ohm. So Rg is 12. The maximum current that can flow, that is Ig is equal to 3 milliampere or 3 into 10 raised to minus 3 ampere. We are going to convert it into a voltmeter of range 0 to 18. So maximum value of voltage that must flow through the voltmeter is 18. That is V is equal to 18. Substituting this value in the equation for R, that is V by Ig minus Rg. Instead of V, we can write 18. Instead of Ig, 3 into 10 raised to minus 3. Instead of Rg, minus 10. So we will get 5988 ohm. So 5988 ohm has to be connected in series with the galvanometer to convert it into a voltmeter.